Hi everyone. This recording today will help you with Project 3. So we're going to go over all 3 pages of the project. However, keep in mind that the questions in this video are not the exact same question as what is in your project. However, it will cover the same concept, so that means you'll be using the same formula, same idea, and all that good stuff. It's just different numbers. So we're going to start with page 1. So page 1 can be a little bit tricky, especially since you are still young for the most part and you might not have a job just yet. However, I do want you to pretend. So page 1 is a monthly budget worksheet. So this budget worksheet is to track your actual spending. But like I said, if you are still living at home, chances are you won't need to create a budget. So that means I want you to pretend that you have moved out on your own if you haven't done so, and I want you to think about what career you want to get into. So let's say you want to be a dentist, and a dentist make about, let's say, 150,000 per year. So what you need to do is you need to find out how much that is per month, because this budget sheet is for monthly. So we're going to do 150,000 divide by 12, because there are 12 months in a year. So that means you're making on average $12,500. So what you would do is in income, you would write 12,500. For the most part, the category, the income category, your monthly action, your budget should be about the same. So every month you're expected to get the same amount of pay every single month if you're working full time. So if that's the case, you want to write 12,500. However, if you plan on working, let's say part time, your budget might be different, but for the most part, it should be the same. Your variance. So, variance is the budget minus the actual. So, in this case, it should be $0 since they are the same. So, when you move out on your own, you might get some kind of bonuses. During that month, if you get a bonus, you can write it in here, $500 bonus, for example. For the most part, in your income, you don't budget for bonus. If you do, that means you're expecting it every single year or something like that. So it's really up to you. There's really no right or wrong answer per se. It just has to be reasonable. So if you write 0 here, your variance, you have to do budget minus actual again. So in this case, it would be negative 500. So if you don't have a certain pay, you want to write 0. Just put 0 and then 0. All right. The bottom part, fixed expenses. So you should have learned that fixed expenses are expenses that do not change from month to month. They stay the same. So for example, if you move out on your own and you get yourself a one-bedroom apartment. A one-bedroom apartment, let's say in the Phoenix area, is about $900. So that means every month you're paying 900. For the most part, with fixed income, you budget the same amount because you already know how much each month will be. You know every month, no matter what, your mortgage or your rent is going to be blank amount. Same thing with your internet. No matter what, every month it's $60, your car payment, etc. If you don't know what the average is for any of these expenses, you can always ask your parents, you can ask me, or you can look up online. Like if you look up, let's say, phone or cell phone. If you go on sprint.com, you can see that they'll tell you, if you want to get a one-line phone, how much it would cost, etc. But I'm always here to help you. Alright, so what you're going to do is fill out. If you don't plan on getting internet for your home, again, put $0. So do not leave anything blank, just put 0. Alright, so that is income and fixed expenses. The next part are your variable expenses. So your variable expenses change from month to month depending on your usage. So for me, let's say electricity. We live in Arizona, so every month it might be a little bit different. Summer is going to be like 5 times as much as the winter. So every month I like to budget just in case, better safe. If you budget more, then it's better for you. You don't want to budget less than what you actually spend, because then you don't know where to get the other money from. So let's say I budget for electricity, $300 every single month. But right now, it's winter or it's spring right now. I don't know about you, but living in the valley, I already turn on my AC. However, I'm not turning it on all the time. So my electricity is probably only, let's say, $90 a month. So for this month, I'm only spending $90 on electricity. So my variance is going to be $210. So if you are plan on living in an apartment where you do not have to buy a car, you just go, you know, on the bus or something like that, car repairs would be zero because you don't have a car. But keep in mind, transportation, you want to count into or take into account, the bus, Uber, taxi, whatever it may be. All right, so again, I don't expect these numbers to be perfect, they just have to be reasonable. You don't want to write like water, $600 unless you plan on having like a really big garden or something like that to where it looks reasonable. But for the most part, make sure to try your best. The goal for this page 1, is so you understand how to budget so that later on, when you're really on your own, you know how to do it and you're smart about it. So keep that in mind. All right, so that's the first page. The second page of project 3, just to let you know, in your project, you will get more numbers. Here, I just put 4 numbers. That's okay. That's just for us to, make sure we go through all 4 columns of the question. Alrighty. So the first one, let's do percent markdown. So percent markdown, just to let you know, you can find the information, the formula, if you don't have it written down, on lesson 13, activity 4. So if you go to lesson 13, activity 4, it's called markdowns, and it shows you how to do it. So I'm actually going to show you right now, but I also want to show you what's in the textbook really quick. Alright, so you're going to open up the PDF. So here's the PDF, and if you notice, it tells you how to find the markdown, right? For this case, for this question, you're going to use this question or this formula right here, because if you notice, we're looking for percent markdown. So what we're going to do is write down that formula really quick. We have percent markdown. I am going to write M for markdown equals the selling. So the formula says regular selling price. So I'm going to put RSP for regular selling price. Or in this case, it is just selling price, just to let you know, times the percent markdown or the markdown rate. Rate is just a percent. Alright, so our goal is to find the percent markdown, right? However, if you're looking for the percent markdown or the markdown rate, we need to know what the markdown is and we need to know what the regular selling price is. We know the regular selling price because it tells us it is $599.96. However, it does not tell us what the markdown is. So that's where we need to go back and take a look. They tell us the markdown can be found using the regular selling price and subtracting the sale price from it. So that means we get the regular selling price, $599, right? And 96 cents minus $479.99, which is the sale price, giving us $119.97. So we're going to write that for the markdown, $119.97 times the markdown rate over here. So what we need to do is find the markdown rate by dividing both sides by $599.96. If we do it to one side, we must do it to the other. So we have that. Plug it into the calculator. Divide 599.96 and we get 19.99996%. What we're going to do is we are going to round that. That's really just 20%. So then you would write 20% in here. So that's how you find the percent markdown. Again, using the formula, markdown equals selling price times markdown rate or percent markdown. If we don't know what the markdown is, we just take the sale price and subtract that number from the selling price. Again, that's $599.96 minus $479.99, giving us $119.97. Divide both sides by the selling price, that gives us the markdown, percent markdown. So we got that part. Now what we need to do is we need to find the sale price now. Right, so we found that one. Sale price. So sale price, you can actually find that one on the same lesson, how to do it. Lesson 13, activity 7. So we're going to open the PDF again. Again, I'll write the formula for you on the sheet. I just want to show it to you. So the sale price is the regular selling price minus the markdown. But remember, if we don't know how to find the markdown, we can use that same formula. So let's go ahead and go back to the example. We're looking for the sale price. So what we need to do is first find the markdown, right? So markdown equals the selling price times the percent markdown or markdown rate. So we get markdown equals this right here. If you remember, we want to convert that into percentage. So we have $899.99 times 30%, which is 0.3. So we're going to take a calculator. We're going to do 899.99 times 0.3. So we get $269.90, basically $270. That is the markdown. So now what we need to do is take the selling price of $899.99 minus the number we had earlier, which is $269.99 or $270, giving us $629.99. So that is the selling price. Now, if you know how to do it a different way, which is also mentioned in here, is taking the percent paid. The percent paid is the complement of the markdown rate and multiplying that by the regular selling price. So the markdown rate is 30%. So the complement of 30% is 70%. It's just 100 minus 30. So 70%. Another way of doing it is multiplying the selling price by the percent paid, and you get the same answer of $629.99. Alright, so that were two ways of solving for the sale price. Alright, next one is the sales tax or sales tax rate, better yet. You can find the sales tax or how to find it on lesson 11, activity 3. So we're going to go to lesson 11 really quick, and we're going to open activity 3, which is called the sales tax. Alright, I'm waiting for it to load so we can get the PDF really quick to show you. Alright, so again, open up your PDF. So it tells you right here, sales tax is the total selling price times the tax rate. Right? So even though the PDF, your PDF in the project says sales tax, because it's a percent, it really means sales tax rate. So don't get that confused. Alright. So how do we find the sales tax before we can find the sales tax rate? Because remember, the formula is sales tax equals total selling price times sales tax rate. So this is what you want to do. I'm going to erase everything. We're going to start off with the total purchase price minus how much we spent, right? So the total purchase price minus the sale price, let's plug that into a calculator, get 11.25 minus 10.49, so we get 76 cents. That is how much we spent in tax. So what we're going to do is write down sales tax equals the sale price as P times the sales tax rate. Again, it's a little bit misleading that she says sales tax rate. So we found the sales tax to be 76 cents. We're going to plug that in here. Equals the sale price, which is $10.49, times, we don't know what the sales tax rate is. So we're going to write times sales tax rate. We're going to divide both sides by 10.49. Alright, type that into your calculator. Divide by 10.49. And we get 0.0724. So 0.0724. So what we're going to do is we're going to convert that into percentage because our answer right now is in decimal. So remember, to convert to percentage, you move 2 to the right. So we really get 7.24. Alright, and that is how you find the sales tax rate. Last one is the purchase price, the total purchase price. So we're going to use very similar formula. Basically, a lot of these very similar formula, we just manipulate it to find what we need it to. Alright, so what I'm going to do is open up the activity that teaches you how to find the purchase price, which is lesson 11, activity 5. Right here, it tells you total purchase price is just the total selling price plus the sales tax, right? So remember how we found the sales tax earlier? We're going to do the same thing. Alright, so first, we need to use sales tax equals sale price times the sales tax rate. So the laptop computer, we have the sale price of $611.96. Right? Now we're going to multiply by the sales tax rate of 7.85%. Remember, we need to convert that into a decimal. So we get 0.0785. Now, let's go ahead and multiply that together. 611.96 times 0.0785. We get $48, and we're going to round it to 4 cents. So keep in mind, if you're off by a penny or two, I am fine with that just because, sometimes it's rounding. I'm not very picky, so keep that in mind. Don't stress out too much. Alright, so we put $48 and 4 cents. That is how much we paid in sales tax. So the formula, going back really quick, the formula of total purchase price is adding the sale price, the total selling price, plus the sales tax. So we're going to get total purchase, so I'm going to do TPP equals the sale price, which is $611.96, and we're going to add the sales tax to that. I'm sure if you guys go shopping, you guys pay attention to your receipt. They automatically calculate this for you, obviously, but that's how they get the total purchase, is they add how much you spent plus the tax. So we have $611.96 plus $48.04, giving us $660. And that's the final answer. Alright, so we found all 4 columns for page 2. Again, your project will require you to do more practice questions. I think there are about 9 to 10 of them on this page, but if you know how to do one from each column, you should be able to do the other ones as well. Now we're going to focus on the last page. So the last page is basically a spreadsheet of your balance for the month. If you notice, we start off with the opening balance. So at the beginning of the month, we have a balance of $820, right? So if you don't have any transaction, so transaction could be depositing some money, taking out some money, paying off something, purchasing something, whatever the case may be. Those are transactions. So if you notice the first few days, this person had no transaction. So if you have no transaction, that means your closing balance will be the same as your opening balance. All right. So the next one, day 9, there's a transaction, right, of $200. So that means you took out $200. That's why there's a negative. In your spreadsheet, you won't see a negative, but you'll see a parenthesis. They mean the same thing. So what you need to do is you need to subtract the opening balance with that transaction. So 820 minus 200. We can do that in our head, but I'm going to show you how to do it anyway, just to make sure our math is correct. So that is $620. So we're going to write that here again. $620. Oh, wait. $620. If you notice, it also tells you the next day because that's the closing balance of the previous day. So if that's what you end the previous day with, obviously the next day you're going to start off with that amount. So again, looking down, still 0. That means we made no transaction whatsoever. Alright, day 15. There's a $60 transaction. So because there's no negative, we're going to go ahead and add that value. So 620 plus 60. So we're going to add 60 to it. That is $680. So if you notice, 680 again are all over here. Same thing, 0 transaction. That means this value stays the same. The closing balance stays the same. Opening, same here. Now, there's another $85. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 85 again. So plus 85, giving us $765. So we're going to write $765 in here. Alright, so that's how you do those two. And just so you notice, it's 765 with no transaction, so nothing's being done. So that means the closing balance should be the same. Alright, now we have that. Next thing we need to do is find the average daily balance. So how do you find the average of any set of numbers? You add up all the numbers and you divide it by how many numbers there are. Well, we're looking for the average daily balance of this month. If you take a look at the table, you'll see that there are 31 days. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 15, all the way down to 31. It also tells you right here, right? So what you need to do is add up all numbers, all of these numbers together. Now you're probably thinking, Ms. Dow, that is a lot of numbers to add up. And you're right, it really is. So we've made it a little bit easy for you, and we already added some numbers for you. If you take a look, this number down here, that's the sum of all the first 15 days. This number right here is the sum of the last 16 days. So we did some of the math for you already. So it's like we're adding all 31 days, but really we're just adding these two numbers. So I'm adding these two numbers together, right? So now we're going to divide. So even though I only added two numbers, in reality I added 31 numbers. So we need to divide the answer by 31. So we get $723, and we're going to round it because, we're talking about money, so we need two decimal places. So that's 723 and 71 cents. So that is how you find the average daily balance. So just to let you know, if you don't remember how to do that, you can go to lesson 15 activity 3. So I'm going to go right there for you really quick just so you can see it. So if you open really quick, it tells you down here, sum of daily balances and divided by the number of days. So we had 31 days, that's why we divided by that. Alright, the next question is also on that activity, so we're good. Finance charge. So if you look at the same PDF, it tells you right here. The finance charge is the average daily balance times the periodic rate. Alright, so what we're going to do is go back here really quick. So we have finance charge. I'm going to write FC for finance charge equals the average daily balance, so ADB, times the periodic rate, PR. So periodic rate, keep in mind here they tell you that the APR is 18%, right? As usual, if you're doing math, you need to convert that into a decimal, which is 0.18. However, this is only for 1 month. APR is annual. That means for the whole year. What you need to do is divide the APR by 12 in order to get the periodic rate. So in this case, we have 0.015, right? And that is the periodic rate. We're going to put that in here really quick, times 0.015. The average daily balance is 723.71. So multiply those two numbers together, times 723.71, and we get $10.80. If you write 85, I will give you the right answer, but correctly round it is $10.86. And that is how you find the finance chart.